All right. I have put some thought into how to better time out the first mission of the Kanan campaign, based on experimentation, a couple runs through, some theory crafting, and exploitation of something I really expected to not be there. Um, or a trigger not expanding the way I thought it would. So I'm just going to run through and explain how there is a quicker way to do Horn of Kesh. I don't know if that's the name this series is going to stick with, but it's what we're going with for now. So, Horn of Kesh is a mission where you have to, uh, or is a mission with an allied victory condition. So, there are three other wizards. You can ally with two of them, and Sahira is the only one which actually needs to get murked. She has two wizard towers, and the whole just story reason for the story gameplay integration, which isn't super important to a speedrun or even like a casual campaign playthrough, as it were, is that it is in fact you're leading a slave rebellion in a sense. She's enslaved the halflings and the orcs. If you work together to do sort of quote unquote good things for them, then they will ally with you, and that takes an extremely strong enemy off the map in Carissa and an enemy that sure is on the map in Marinus. I don't think he's very good. But he's halflings. I think he's like halflings cosmos, so it's not surprising. Um, that's all unrelated. So Sahira has two wizard towers that you need to take out, which I think I already said, but I'm just rambling, and this is all in one take, so I'm sorry. It's kind of just that way. Um, what we need to do is take an army down to the first wizard tower and make an army for the second wizard tower. However, we do not do this with any form of production. The only production we need is, and if, like, the only thing we really need to sort of make is a couple haste buffs for us. And it works out really well. We have a Jinn, which is able to go over, and we don't really need much of anything else. So, in terms of magic class, you don't really need to change anything. You get Ifrit, Fire Halo, and Haste at base in the Kanan campaign, no matter what you choose. Which is really good. Haste is probably one of the most broken spells in the game. I'd say it's top 3 with like Bless and Enchant Weapon. So we're just going to leave it 3 fire, 3 air. In terms of skills, you want Explorer. It's objectively the best skill for speedrunning. You get an extra 20% movement points, so every 6 turns you have essentially given yourself a free turn of movement, as it were. Except for with guys you recruit, they don't quite gain it. We need a drawback. Anarchist doesn't work because it forces either the halflings or the orcs to abandon you, which is quite bad. Technophobe, I don't think works for the third mission. Decadence goes against what we want. Bureaucrat is a little janky. Pacifist, however, does not cause any significant drawbacks because you aren't really relying on your heroes. In this campaign, you want the spellcasting ability, but that's pretty much all you need. And then Survivalist for lowered upkeep. Peacekeeper doesn't really do anything. Summoner, Channeler, anything involving these, like maybe casting specialist would be okay, because you only need a couple parties, and that, like, I think for this campaign in particular, casting specialist does have some merit. You're getting an extra free 10 spell points, and while that doesn't sound like a lot, it's a second haste, which is huge on a per turn basis, especially in something where you're not going to have a ton of stuff. But for now, we're going to go with Survivalist and Explorer. This should take about 15 turns in total. Is generally the goal. Anywhere between, I'd say, the lowest I've gotten is 15, but I'd say something between 13 and 17 is probably possible. Or 13 might be possible if you play 100% optimally. So let's just get started. You start out with just Kanan and a horse archer. The UI is going to look a little weird because everything's kind of bumped up. You have to create a caravan here. There is no scenario in which you can possibly take that army. I think there's only one spell that would be worth grabbing in pretty much the entirety of this campaign, and it would be Shadow Walker if it were to show up innately. You create the caravan, and from here you haste Ashley. It is a 1-turn difference for getting over to these guys. She can't do it otherwise. She normally stops right about here. Otherwise, and next turn, you want to haste caravan. Also makes a turn difference. You can't actually build over here. I'll just display that really quick. You pick up the gold, recruit a pair of guys, and this Jinn here is pretty much the key to everything. It also makes no production of this possible. A problem I was faced with when theory crafting that was there is no way to easily shoot, where was I going with this? There is no way to easily get past the 3 pit guards because I thought, oh, they will turn around. No, they're actually just set to guard. So here, to Tanaba. I like waiting here at the end of the turn. That way you don't have to deal with the halflings going and doing anything. And from here, you haste the Jinn. That's the last bit of mana you need to spend. There are some RNG elements to this map. Looks like I lost a horse archer, which isn't great. Guard here. There are 2 ways to ally with Marinus. There is a Sphinx over here, which takes a couple extra turns to get to and sends you way out of the way. And there's a Halfling enslavement here that can be grabbed. It's a lot better to grab one than the other. Here, we're going to do this. And since we freed that camp, Marinus will ally with us for the 3 cents that he is worth. I'm going to send a pony rider up here. Talibu is a hero that you're able to grab. And the idea is you want to take the Jinn. I like grabbing that mine with him. It works out pretty well. You have to kind of play these recruitments by ear. because with bigger armies, you can certainly do better. I'm going to send this guy over and be really surprised that Slaver doesn't move. You don't lose anything using Talibu to grab this. The money should always be positive from what I've experienced. Yeah, okay, maybe not always positive, but I think it is worth grabbing them for two relatively cheap higher movement units. And then you can send across the steppe here. Just end turn. It's pretty fast. All things considered. And here, you've got nice, full 3 parties. Should generally be enough to take out Zahira. In fact, it's probably overkill, but you have to grab stuff anyways, so might as well. That open party looks like it... Oh no, it actually didn't belong to Khan. There are 2 heroes that belong to Marinus. No idea what that's about. Generally, since you're going fast, that's there. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably faster to break down, grab the orc encampment, and then double over to the halflings, because you're kind of going back, and that probably saves a turn or 2. So you've got the Jinn, which you're moving across. And then here's the big thing. These pit guards are set to, well, guard. Which is kind of weird if you ask me. Because they don't actually move. Which is a big oversight by the devs. Once you're in here, you kind of just want to go around, recruit everything that you can, and make a party so you can take out Pitface, who is an annoyingly strong hero. He's what, level 6? He's level 6 and comes with a net, which is kind of a bit much. I think you could do a pretty good job of arguing that this amount of forces is indeed overkill. You probably only need 2 parties. I haven't done a ton of experimentation on this map. Khan will attack if you get within about 2 spaces. 2 parties here is generally enough. When you get enough to teleport 1 item, the Slaver's Net is really good. I just haven't messed with it. Haven't messed with grabbing it specifically. Kind of want to go through here, recruiting everything. This is randomly a refugee. I'm still not quite sure why. unfortunately, everything else is a guard. You kind of want to go through recruiting this as quickly as you possibly can. Looks like some AI breaks there, which isn't nice, I guess, for lack of a better word. I have not moved these guys as much as I should. One of Sahira's things is down here. You can avoid a trigger by not capturing this reflecting pool up here, which just shows you where Sahira is. Not super great. It's just a time loss, if anything. You can kind of leave the Ashley level to the AI, which is what I do there. And like Sahira, she's a squire, right? No, she's a knight, and then we've got knight 2 squires. They don't really do a lot. From here, you can kind of just teleport in. You'll lose a couple units, possibly. And then you can recruit all these tier 1s, sort, and singular tier 2. You're not really in trouble of like losing here. And then this part's a little awkward. Sort of dance around. The spirit will attack naturally if you've got unit either here or here. I like to use the swordsman to get away with that. And then this is kind of a small dance. Sacking some units to get vision on where you need. That's a Chaos Lord this time? Interesting. Haven't seen it as a Chaos Lord before. Doesn't build like a Desert Mirage or anything. You can move the heroes away if that makes you feel safer. This isn't like Julia 1, Norwood, where you need to actually like have the heroes. I just waited a turn, not necessarily to regen, but because I want to be as sure of my movement here that I can be. You need to sack just a couple guys. Getting over here, the AI doesn't necessarily react to the guys you place here. And that's why we save. The harvesters are really awkward to deal with. See, they attack almost too fast for you to reasonably react. Harvesters are just kind of insane. They do so much. They're probably one of the best tier 3 units in the game. Just because they eat everything. Oh, there are shadow babies there. I haven't been using that. Just out of curiosity. Oh, she only lost 2 units. And from here, you can attack Sahira. That's day 15. So I'm going to just run through an actual version of how this might look if you were to do it in a speedrun. Just gonna grab a drink of water really quick.
The Horn of Kesh.
Vocal cords are a bit roughed out. because I've been speaking for let me check the recording, about 20 minutes in a row now. So same as before, explorer, pacifist, serve. Um, Difficulty set on normal, simultaneous turn count. Classic would be worse in this instance. I do want to take a more general look into what exactly that entails. As it comes to bigger maps, such as not necessarily Merlin's, but fucking Phobian Empire specifically. And see if that makes it any faster between turns. So, grab Ashley. Haste. Create caravan. Missed the haste there. I don't think it's a deal breaker, because you should be able to still get it off this turn. You got neutral mana here. Gold. Didn't expect an extra set of raiders. that's awkward. Can't gotta scrap that. Also, I'm not editing this, so that was weird. Halfling abandoned me, and that created some issues that I wasn't expecting. Because you kind of need everything to get through that. So we're just gonna do this again. It's not a hard mission to reset, so you really shouldn't do that. I just don't like having it there. Okay, I don't know exactly how long that took. I'd estimate about 10 minutes. Um, I'll have to check it in post. But I was right. 13 days. There's enough time to research shadow walking, and I don't know. Serve is a little finicky. I think you do need to. You don't want to split out your army. You want to take everything in the same direction because you struggle otherwise. If you aren't bringing your full army to either of the jails, then you're going to have a rough time releasing. And like those 6 units, you get spiral everything out of control from the orcs. You don't attack the pit lord. You don't have to worry about anything running around. It's probably worth attacking those refugees off the first and second pit guards just to get rid of them. I'd say. Shoot, I'm just curious. What do the armies look like? Wow, I'm doing that on like nothing. That's insane. And Marinus gets a really so that's like what 500. It's probably worth trying to trade with Marinus then. If I had to guess. So let me see overall. Um, the only change I'd make is moving around the order in which you free. So get orcs first, and then after get halflings. The orcs move faster, anyways, so you'll actually have the reinforcements, and then you can just run down, take out Sahira on turn 13. There's probably a more optimal path for Jin movement. I just don't have it in my head. So yeah, that's a faster way to do Horn of Kesh, and maybe once I'm actually good at this, I will sit down and make a recording that takes more than one take, so it's actually good. But that's it. Peace.